This is the Intex PureSpa Plus, a 6-person inflatable hot tub that reaches temperatures up to 104 degrees. It comes packed with 140 bubble jets, a hard water system that reduces the amount of buildup in your hot tub, and an easy-to-use adjustable control panel. Inside this video, we're going to be testing out this inflatable hot tub to see whether or not it is the best inflatable hot tub that you can buy. In order to do that, we'll be breaking down this video into 6 different parts. I'll start off with a general overview about this tub and what you can expect. We'll then move into the unboxing, where I will take everything out of the box and quickly move into the third part, which is the setup, where we'll go step by step through how to set up the Intex PureSpa. Then we'll move into talking about all the different accessories that Intex offers. And finally, I'll wrap everything up with my final thoughts. Before we jump into all of that, I must say that Intex did send this spa to me to test inside this video. However, all of my thoughts and opinions are my own. And with that being said, you can expect a fully featured hot tub with the Intex PureSpa. I got mine in Sahara Tan, and I love this look, but you could also get it in a dark blue. It's made with puncture-resistant 3-ply laminated material, so you can expect this thing to last for a few seasons at the very least. It also claims to fit up to about 6 adults, but I would recommend 4 adults at the most if you want to spread out and have your own personal space. It also comes with some cool accessories like an insulation bubble that fits on top of the hot tub, as well as a foam cover that goes on top of that. And you also get some fun things like a carrying bag and a chlorine capsule. This hot tub is truly plug and play. As soon as you plug it in, set it up, fill it up with water, you're ready to get in and start using your hot tub. The whole process takes about 24 hours until it's ready to use. It comes in a massively heavy box, however, everything was packaged well on the inside, and things are divided up into smaller boxes within that big box. We have things like the insulation bubble, we also have the spa cover, then we have a dedicated box for the hot tub itself, and then finally another box that contains all of your different accessories along with your pump. Setup begins by laying out your ground cover, which is going to protect the bottom of your hot tub from getting pierced or punctured. Next, you lay out the hot tub on top of that ground cover, getting it ready for inflation. The inflation process is actually pretty cool because it uses the heater and the pump to inflate the hot tub. All you have to do is install a hose into the air output section, plug that hose into the hot tub, and it will start inflating, and it takes roughly about 5 minutes to inflate. You can also use that same hose to inflate the insulation bubble that sits on top, and that took even less time to inflate than the hot tub. After everything is inflated, you then take the hot tub and connect it to the pump. There are 3 different connection points, and all you have to do is just hand tighten them. There's no tools required. Once we're all connected, you can actually start filling up your hot tub with water. When you're doing this, you can put the insulation on top to keep bugs and debris out of the hot tub, and you're gonna have to wait about an hour to an hour and a half for the tub to get completely filled between the minimum and maximum line. I filled up mine during dinner, and this is what I came back to. After 1 hour, we're right in between minimum and maximum. When you're heating up your hot tub, it's a good idea to have the insulation as well as the cover on the outside. That's gonna keep all of your heat trapped, and it's gonna be less time to heat up your hot tub. To install the insulation bubble, it's really simple. You're just gonna press along the edges. You might have to release a little bit of air from the air valve to get it to fit, but once you do, it fits nice and snug. The cover is also extremely easy to install. You just throw it over top of the hot tub, pulling on different sides of it until it completely wraps around the hot tub. There's a little tiny opening that goes around the pump, and then you can take the buckle and connect it underneath the pump, and everything is locked in and secured. After it's all locked down for the night, you're gonna go ahead and wait for it to heat up. I waited overnight, and this is what I came to. So now I'll go ahead and turn on the heat button. I'm gonna go ahead and set it for 90, and we'll let it heat up overnight. It currently says that we are at 60 degrees. It's been roughly 12 hours, and now we're at 87 degrees, so it went from 60 degrees to 87 with a difference of 27 degrees overnight, which means you need to wait about 12 to 24 hours for it to reach your desired temperature when you first fill up the hot tub. Before we use the hot tub, we have to discuss chemicals. There are 2 different methods of sanitation for the Intex PureSpa. The first is going to be this included chlorine dispenser. It floats on top of the water just like so, and it takes 1-inch chlorine tablets and it disperses it around the pool. To install a tablet, it's really simple. You just open up the bottom, insert it, close it, and throw it in the pool. The second method is using the salt sanitation system. You do have to purchase the salt system separately, and that will allow you to use sodium chloride inside of your pool instead of chlorine. That's going to be much softer on the skin and the eyes. About 4 to 5 pounds of sodium chloride should do the trick on your first use. You'll notice that we have a salt sanitation button here. If you press down on that button button as well as the up arrow, it will activate the salt sanitation system, but you must have the extra piece installed first and the salt inside the pool. You could always use a pool or spa test strip, swish it around in the water a bit, and test out your chemicals accordingly. Intex includes spa water chemistry and balance charts to make this process a whole lot easier. When it comes to the control panel, we have this nice little plastic barrier to keep water off of it. We could also push on the bottom, lift it up, and we have a little stand here in the back that'll keep it from collapsing, just to give you a better view of the temperature when you're in the spa. As far as the buttons go, we have our power button, which turns on and off the spa. We have our heat button that will heat to the desired temperature. If you click on these buttons here, you can control the temperature. It goes all the way up to 104. Once you have your desired temperature, just let it flash for a little bit and it will lock into place. You can also press on this button here to switch between Celsius and Fahrenheit. And then of course we have everyone's favorite button, the bubble massage button. And that's what the bubbles look like. You're only going to get one setting for bubble massage, so there's not going to be a low or a high. It's just either on or off. One thing to consider when using the bubble massage is that it is going to be pulling air from the outside. So if the air on the outside is colder than the temperature in the tub, then your tub will decrease in temperature. Next, we have our water filter button. If you press on it, you can switch between 2 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, and off. When you choose a time, it will flash for a few times and then turn on the water filtration system. During the water filtration system, it will switch between your current temperature, your set temperature, as well as how many hours you have the water filtration set for. And that's basically everything there is to know about the control panel. As far as accessories go, there are many to choose from. I ended up grabbing 3 different accessories for my hot tub. The first was the bench that wraps around the hot tub, and honestly, it's really secure and sits nice and tight up against the hot tub. This is going to make it easier for children to get in, and it also makes a great spot to sit, to put your legs in the hot tub when you get too hot. You end up getting 2 smaller benches and 2 larger benches, and they all connect together. The second accessory is a cup holder that attaches to the outside of the hot tub. It holds snacks as well as 2 different drinks, and it sits there nice and firm. The last of the accessories I got was the iPad or tablet holder. This also has spots for drinks and snacks, but it can hold your iPad, and it has a really cool LED light that you can turn on or off. Of course, you could also get things like seats or headrests to make the spa a little bit more comfortable, but I definitely recommend checking out those 3 different accessories. I really like them, and I think that you will too. When it comes down to it, this hot tub costs significantly less than your standard hot tub. It comes in right around $700, and if you take care of it, it could last up to 3 to 5 years. Which leads me to my first pro, and that is that this spa is cost efficient compared to the other hot tubs out there. It's easier to set up, you can plug it directly into a wall socket, and it's firm enough that you could sit on the edges and use it like a traditional hot tub. My next pro is that this is a dual use hot tub. What I mean is that you can use this as a warm pool in the summertime, or you could use it as a hot tub in the fall or winter. Because it's inflatable, it has that pool vibe, and we honestly love using it as a pool during the summer. The third pro about this hot tub is that it is saltwater ready. If you install the saltwater system, which is an extra piece that you have to purchase, then you can just use salt inside of your hot tub instead of chlorine. That's just going to lead to an overall smoother feel on your skin with this hot tub. When it comes to cons, there really isn't that many, but I could think of 2. The first one is that it really isn't that big to fit 6 adults. You could easily fit 4 adults and 2 children, but 6 adults is going to be a little bit of a tight squeeze. If you want extra space, make sure to cap it at 4 adults and not 6. The second con is that it just isn't going to stay as hot if you plan on using the bubbles during the winter. That's because the bubbles are pulling the outside air and pushing it into the hot tub, meaning that will decrease the temperature, unlike a standard hot tub. All in all, I highly recommend checking out the Intex PureSpa. It's been a great hot tub for us so far, and I really think that Intex knows what they're doing when it comes to building pools and hot tubs, because they've been doing it for a long time. And this hot tub is no different, and that's why I recommend buying it. Thank you so much for watching this video review, and I hope that it helped. My name's David, and I do product reviews, product comparisons, and top 5 best videos in both the home and tech niches. If you're into that kind of stuff, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for my next review.